going on, guys? My name is Taylor Stuber, and I'm here to break down the very first NFL slate of the 2021 season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Dallas Cowboys showdown slate on Draftkings.com. I'm very excited for the season to get underway. As always, guys, if you guys are new here or haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe, like this video, and then comment below with your favorite play of the day. I will be live streaming 30 minutes before lock to answer all of your guys' questions when it comes to what you should be building your lineups around on both DraftKings, FanDuel, and going over some prize picks and underdog stuff as well. I might stream into the game as well. If you guys want my more up-to-date information and exactly what I'm doing on DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks, and UnderdogFantasy.com, make sure to join my Patreon. That link will be below and in the pinned comment. If you guys want to join my Discord, it is completely free as well. That link will also be in the comments below and the description, so make sure to join that. We're at about 1,200 members in there, so a lot of fun going on in there when these slates get going. A lot of ideas bouncing around, and so when it comes to showdowns, you guys are going to want to build around a lot of correlation. Obviously, in regular classic slates, you want to have a lot of correlation, but especially in showdowns. And I will be going over some of my favorite correlations on this slate specifically. But let's just jump right into it. If you guys want to support the channel, make sure to sign up and deposit on UnderdogFantasy.com using code Stuber. You will receive a $25 credit instantly in your account with when signing up and depositing using code Stuber, or using the link below. Minimum $10 deposit. So if you deposit $10, you get $35. It seems like a pretty good deal to me. The Puppy 3, $200,000 up top, is only 87% full. So if you're watching this video, it's likely not full yet, so there might be some overlay. So you want to chase that, take advantage of the promotions like this, get a couple extra teams. I know throughout the day I'm going to try to get some more teams in before the slate, before the season officially starts tonight. But we will start off with the Vegas lines. It is currently a 52 over/under, up half a point since open. But the thing to know is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went from 6.5 point favorites to 8 point favorites, despite only 58% of the bets coming in on the Buccaneers. Which means that while there is the majority of the bets coming in on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only 8% over 50 is causing the line to move 1.5 points. So that means a lot of the larger bets in sharper money typically is coming in on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I tend to agree. I thought this opening line of 6.5 was pretty favorable for the Dallas Cowboys. You know, they have a lot of things that they are worried with right now, and there's a lot of concerning things and factors going into this game. One of their best linemen, Zach Martin, is going to be out this game due to COVID-19. So not only were they already going to struggle to rush the ball against last year's #1 rush defense, the Buccaneers, they're going to be without their top offensive lineman, so that is no good. And then we still have some questions with Dak Prescott's shoulder injury that he's been dealing with since last year. So a lot of things to go over in this game, but we'll start off with the Tampa Bay side. You know, honestly, I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roll in this game. If you guys are playing a Survivor League this year, I would either go with the Buccaneers or the Los Angeles Rams in Week 1. I'm still debating on that with myself, but I could definitely see the Bucs winning this game pretty handily by 2-3 touchdowns in this game. I think Dallas's offense could struggle against the Buccaneers. But of course, if you guys are playing cash games, you're probably going to want to play the highest median projected players, the guys like Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, trying to fit one of them in the captain spot. But when it comes to these big showdown slates, when it comes to NFL, I'm going for first place, and captaining one of those guys kind of limits yourself because they are going to be so popular. And so I'm going to be starting the majority of my lineups tonight with Antonio Brown at the captain spot, only 5,600. I think this is an absolute steal of a price. You know how much Tom Brady loves this guy, going back to when his very short stint with the New England Patriots. And then coming over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers midway through the last year, where he was coming in completely raw, progressed throughout the season, had a really good December for them. And, you know, he has absolutely been one of Tom Brady's favorite targets whenever they have played together. When it comes to targets per route run, he beat Chris Godwin and Mike Evans last year. There's been a lot of word that he's been absolutely tearing up training camp this year. And at 5,600, you captain him. He's only 8,400. That leaves you a ton of cap space, an average of 8,320 per for the rest of your lineup. If you guys, and obviously if you're captaining a wide receiver like Antonio Brown, that is usually what ends up winning these tournaments, is having a wide receiver in the captain spot. You want to have the correlation with the quarterback. Throw in Tom Brady. You still have 7,600 per. You really only need to punt with one guy, and I think there's some valuable guys down at the bottom. Guys like Giovanni Bernard, who is $2,000. You go into the preseason, you know, they did pick him up from the Cincinnati Bengals this year. And in the preseason, you know, you did think that the Bucs running back rotation could get any more complicated with them splitting touches between Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. But if you look through the games that they've played in the preseason, Giovanni Bernard played 100% of the preseason snaps, or of the third down snaps. Now, is that going to carry over into the regular season? I guess we're going to have to see. But even if this game does end up blowing out, I think that through the first three quarters, we're going to see Giovanni Bernard play majority of these third down snaps. And if he can rack up 3-4 catches, and you know, that is kind of a stretch getting up to 4 catches. But if that were to happen, at $2,000, that is very affordable, and it allows you to get guys like Antonio Brown at captain with both of the quarterbacks and more of the receivers that we are going to want to have on that team. These are probably three of my favorite Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then Chris Godwin at 8,600. I know a lot of people are probably going to gravitate towards Mike Evans at 9,200 just for a pure touchdown standpoint. Touchdown upside standpoint. But Chris Godwin, you know, he was dealing with so many injuries last year, and you know, we did have a scare on Tuesday, him leaving midway through practice with a quadriceps injury, but he was a full participant on Wednesday, so he should be good to go. And I'm very high on Chris Godwin this year. You know, the Dallas Cowboys secondary is absolutely abysmal, and so I'm going to be stacking the air raid from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, probably with Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, and Chris Godwin, maybe going to the cheap guys like Giovanni Bernard or OJ Howard, who's making a comeback this year after getting injured in week 4. Just because, just to reiterate on, or go over a bit on the OJ Howard stuff, you know, Rob Gronkowski, as good as he is, he's mainly going to be a red zone guy, especially early on in the season, week 1. I don't think that he gets very many snaps in between the 20s. That's going to be more of a role for OJ Howard. And so throughout the game, I think that OJ Howard, unless Gronk gets into the end zone 1 or 2 times, I think OJ Howard probably outscores him on a more regular basis, if you're not including the touchdown upside of Gronkowski. And at only 2,200, I think he is also an interesting route to go as a punt play. Playing him or Giovanni Bernard is probably where I'm going to end up on the slate. Now, coming from the Dallas Cowboys side, I think that this offense actually struggles quite a bit. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that Zach Martin is going to miss this game, and they are facing the number 1 rush defense of last year. Now, obviously, going from a year-to-year basis, it is hard for defenses to carry over the dominance that they had from the years before. But I do think that this is a very, very strong interior defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Zeke at 9,600, I think he's going to be popular. Last year he was more prominent in the receiving game, which I think is where he's going to get the majority of his fantasy points in this game. But I will likely be fading him at 9,600. I would much rather get to a guy like Dak Prescott, who's going to have more rushing ability. Is going to be playing from behind more times than not in my head. So going to be locking in Dak Prescott as well. And then I'm going to be playing one of these receivers. And with the line being a bit banged up and in shambles for the Dallas Cowboys, I think I'm going to go with the lowest ADOT, average depth of target receiver from this Dallas Cowboys team. That's probably going to be Amari Cooper. He looks very, very healthy coming into this season. The best route runner on this team and probably the lowest ADOT, so and the best chemistry with Dak Prescott. So I think when things are breaking down, Cooper's going to be the guy that Prescott is looking for. I don't know how much time Prescott's going to have in the pocket to get to guys like CeeDee Lamb and especially Michael Gallup, who is pretty much just an outside deep threat at this point. So I think CeeDee Lamb could be very popular, and I am high on him on the season overall. I am higher on him than Cooper on the season, but on a singular game standpoint, in this game specifically, I prefer Amari Cooper as a pairing with Dak Prescott for a comeback when they are trying to catch up to this Tampa Bay offense and keep up in this game. Everybody else on this team, I'm not all that interested in. If you guys want to mess around with the tight ends like Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, I don't mind it, but I think they are pretty pricey. I'd much rather prefer the Tampa Bay Buccaneers guys in this price range, even Gronkowski over them, as well as Antonio Brown, like I mentioned, at 5,600. And then one last thing that I forgot to talk about with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is that I do think that this game is pretty the Buccaneers handled this game pretty easily, and I think that Ronald Jones it stands to benefit a ton from this going down the stretch, especially in the second half and specifically the fourth quarter when they're trying to salt away the clock. I think that he's going to be the guy out there on the first two downs over guys like Giovanni Bernard and Leonard Fournette. So he does have some touchdown upside late into the game at $5,000. I think that's very, very affordable. But the running back situations in this game are just, they leave a lot to be desired with it being a tough matchup for Zeke and then Tampa Bay. There's three running backs that are all going to be touching the field in this game. So, yeah, if you guys want to know exactly what I'm doing on this side on DraftKings and then my full complete lineup on FanDuel, as well as PrizePicks and Underdog, make sure to check out my Patreon. That is linked down below. $25 for the rest of the month. I think it's a pretty fair price. We play all of the nighttime showdowns and the main slate as you're watching this video. The information should already be up for this showdown specifically. I appreciate you guys being here. I'll be talking in the Discord throughout the day, and then I will be live streaming 30 minutes before lock on this YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe so you guys are alerted when I do go live. Appreciate you guys being here, and until next time, peace.